Welcome back to another video, boys and girls and non-binary people. It's your humble and gracious host Hima. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and the like button. Before we get into the video, I have to send my thoughts and prayers for everybody who's involved in this conflict right now. It's all over the news. Everybody, we don't need wars. All we need is love and peace, and shout out to the same people who are going through the same thing in Yemen, Syria, and all these other countries. Let's just be peaceful and love each other instead of hate each other. Alright, that being said, in this video I'm going to talk about why Bitcoin hasn't reached $100,000 and when it will, and how it will happen, and whether the war will have an effect on it. Alright, so without further ado, let's jump into the charts. Alright, so I'm looking at Bitcoin. We are hovering in that $38,000 mark. We did go to about 47,000. I told you guys that it would. Have drawn a sketch before. Hold on, let me switch to weekly charts. As you can see, if you watch my previous videos, you know I kind of told you guys that Bitcoin will reach that 47, maybe 50 and come down, and it is kind of coming down, but how far will it go down, or will it actually reach $100,000? So let's talk about the war first, whether this will have an effect on the war. All right, and to discuss that, I have to take you guys back in time. All right, and then we have to talk about World War I and World War II and what happened to financial markets during these periods. So I have the Dow Jones Index, which is the oldest index, operating oldest index in the world right now. And I'm in the 1900s, all right, the beginning of the 1900s. The First World War happened in 1914 to 1918, which is about 4 years. It's called the Great War. If you guys don't know about it, read up about it. And during this time period, this is how the Dow Jones reacted. So actually, from 1914 to 1918, the Dow Jones actually went up, as you can see, and then it came down, went up again in 1919 and 20, and came down for about 2 years, and then it has the biggest bull market from 1921 to 1929 until we had the Great Recession. All right, this is during the Great Depression. Inflation was really high, and we just got out of Spanish flu. Spanish flu was in 1915, I think, and then we had the war. But the market actually did exactly the opposite everyone would think. It went up, but it came down. It went up for 9 years though, and it went down for I think about 3 years, from 1929 to 1932. And what does this tell us? The First World War did not have any effect on the market, but it kind of had an effect on inflation and currency devaluation. All right, okay. I will make a whole other video about what caused this crash, because to me it looks like we are heading this way. Okay, and then the Second World War happened in 1939 to 1946 or something. So if you look at that, from 1932 after the crash to about 1944, this entire period, the Second World War was over here. Let me get my marker. The Second World War was over here. The market actually didn't do that much. It just went sideways. But from 1932 to about 1937 till the war started, market actually did recover. And after the Second World War, the beginning of the Second World War, it came down a bit. And then what happened was, we had another massive bull market from 1944 to 1988. That's almost like what, 40 something years? We had a huge bull market, a massive one. All right. So if you think about it, a war would necessarily not be a bad thing for the financial market, but of course a bad thing for the world. But if you look at the history, the markets actually either reacted complete polar opposite, or not, but it never went down. Like, it didn't go down with the war. It didn't stay down because of a war. In fact, it did the opposite. So if we are to have this Russia thing and it escalates into a bigger war, which it might, it has the potential, let's just hope not, I think that will push Bitcoin up to 100,000 or more. Because what that will do is, of course, gold will go over the roof. All right. And Bitcoin, of course, I'm pretty sure it being an asset that holds value, there is a chance that it might go to 100,000. So don't worry about the war and Bitcoin getting destroyed. It will not affect Bitcoin because the same people who trade Dow Jones and SPX and all of these stocks are the same people who trade Bitcoin. So there's a higher chance that Bitcoin actually will rise if we run into a massive war. I already hear news that Bitcoin donations to Ukraine are increasing. All right. That being said, my biggest concern is not the war. Of course, if you see a bunch of nukes start flying in, then you're all fucked. You know, so no one will be left alive on this planet to even trade crypto. But my biggest concern is something like this Great Depression, inflation. That's my biggest concern. But even then, I don't think Bitcoin will get destroyed, but it will come down. Like I told you, it will definitely be coming down to $20,000 and then it will go to about $1 million. But if it's to come down, it's mainly gonna be about something financial related, not war related. That's just my opinion. Don't quote me on it. This is not financial advice. It's just what I think. I compared the incidents in the history. I'm telling you, a war will not affect Bitcoin. In fact, war will actually push the Bitcoin up to 100,000. What will affect Bitcoin, however, is concerns regarding inflation, increasing interest rates and whatnot, and more regulations. But even then, Bitcoin will not go to zero ever again. If it does, I'm buying. But I don't think it will. The least, like I told you, in my old videos, I'm talking about this $20,000 range. It might come over there. There's a higher chance. But then afterwards, in the long run, 5-10 years, Bitcoin is going to 100,000. So if you are holding Bitcoin, don't sell them. You can dollar cost average into Bitcoin, or you can buy it at a cheaper price. I don't usually do dollar cost averaging into anything. I buy things cheap, but you know, it's not bad strategy as well. People do it. Yeah, it works sometimes. So that being said, I'm gonna stop the video. I'll see you guys in another video. I'm praying everyone that all these things will go back to normal. We need more money with Bitcoin, not wars. All right. Praying for everybody. Take care. Be safe. I love you guys. I'll see you guys in another video. Until then, make love, not war.